Now, which is pretty much a nice feature that TWH made, and they make it pretty much visible to anyone and noticeable. I guess I want a lot of people to know is this piece right here pops off, and it reveals pretty much your swing gear and a lot of other components that I don't know. It looks to be just small pony motors or something. I really don't know. But when you take the counterweight off, it reveals even more. All these lines will actually run to these, and it just makes the detail look incredible. But these are metal, all the hoses are rubber. So it really does simulate the real machine. To take it off, they do suggest using the little pick that they give you, but I just do it like this. It's easier. And then it goes back on just like that. And that is great, especially if you have those little guys, the replicated men, that the one looks like the mechanic. If you put in the dial in a diorama like that, it would just look great. It'll give the dial a lot of realism. And just here's where the cylinder for the boom connects in there. See, it does. The great thing about TWH is they'll give you everything that's on the real machine. Like a lot of manufacturers won't go into putting all these the wires for the cab and all the hoses, but they will do that, which in the long run, like I always say, makes the model sell more. Alright, here's the boom. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna swing the jib out so you could see the right side. Just remove this temporarily. Okay, here's the boom. You can see coming over here. This part, see the hole on top there? That's how you hold your jib in. When I get to the jib, I'll show you guys that. And then here's the groove. So the side of the boom it doesn't really have it's basically flat like the real machine. Now these things, these eyes right here, lifting eyes, or for when they're installing the boom, that's basically their lifting hooks to install it. Now swing it around to the other side. Let me just put this jib in. Okay, man, this is the angle of your boom. This is the first crane model I've seen to have that, which is great. It really shows that they put a lot of work into their models, and they want to make them look as real as possible. And now that I'm looking at this through the camera, it looks really nice. This is plastic right here, unfortunately, but I think it has something to do with the jib. I'm not really sure. A lot of Liebherr mobile cranes have that on the end of the boom tip, and it always has something to do with the jib, so I'm not really sure. And then here it is over here. Now for the extensions of the boom. There's 3 extensions. Let me get some better lighting. Alright, there's 3 extensions for the boom. Now, I myself have been trying to figure out whether these pieces right here are resin, plastic, or they're metal. I have no idea. I do know that this boom is metal. These pieces are plastic. Though that's basically just pointing out the obvious. But I'm not sure. And they do have a little bit of movement in them, which really isn't bad. Because on the real crane, when you do extend it out, it does sag down a little. And if it didn't, a lot of people say, oh, that's bad. No, if it didn't, it would just break. Now here's the boom head. The jib's attached on it right now. I will just take the jib off for you. The jib comes off with these 2 pins that they give you. Okay, I'll put that right there. Here's the boom head. 2 sheaves on top, 3 on the bottom. That is all metal. That is great about this model. Model is mostly metal. Now, towards the bottom. Now this chain right here is basically just to hold the cable in one place. And now the hook. The hook is something a lot of people complained about too. But the hook, 3 sheave on there, they string it for you. It comes pre-stringed, which I don't really like. It's good that there's pretty much no assembly on it, but I just don't like that they didn't string all of it. It would have been nice to see each one of them stringed, and I'm thinking about restringing it, but I don't know. The hook is all metal, which is great because when you do bring it down, it comes down by itself because of naturally the weight. Now, for the jib. The jib is all metal as well. To install the jib, what you do is pretty much put it on top of those pieces. These are the pins they give you. I always do the right side first, opposite of the cab side. And then swing it over and drop that pin in. The jib doesn't come strung or installed, but they do give you instructions. Now, this piece comes down, so what you want to do is bring it up and put that little piece on the end into that hole, and then you're good. Now, the jib extends. That's what I'm going to show you right now. To extend it, right there, if you see that hole, there's a pin that comes out, and the pin will hold it it'll hold it in pretty much any position you want it to. But what I'm going to show you is how to extend it. Basically, just pull it out, and then you want to line this up right here because there's a hole in the jib, and then it doesn't move, and then it's extended. So there's the jib. The reason why the hook looks like, different here is because there's no tie off for it. What they do give you, which I didn't put on, is another one of the guides, which is this thing. I don't know where to attach it to, so I just didn't put it on, and what I did was I just ran the string through the rod piece. If you look, I didn't even cut that off because I just did it. But that's why the hook kind of looks like not bent but crooked. But what you could do is just basically tighten it so it will stay straight. That's because it's a jib. Now, the jib, to put it on the model, slides down, throw your pin in there. If you take this pin out, now because I really don't feel like untying it and then tying it every time, so I'm just throwing the hook under there. I'm gonna tighten it. It just came loose. So I'm just throwing the hook so it attaches on. Bring that down, and it swings. And the jib basically it swings over, comes in right there. I put the pin back in so I don't lose it. And then your jib's in. Now, to lock the jib, when I was talking about the boom, I said that's how you hold the jib in. You put the pin in, and now the jib will not come off. So, Now I'm gonna get to pretty much the most detailed part of the model, which is the underside of the model. Alright, the model's placed on its side now, so you can see it on the side. But in my opinion, this is probably the most detailed part of this model, because there was just a lot of time and effort put into the bottom of this model. You see here, it works same thing on the back. But these steer it. You can see the cylinders, and then I forgot what you call that, but there is a mechanical term for it. But you can see, probably just like the real thing, that's really the way it turns. Your drive shaft, you could also, the engineering term for drive shaft is propeller shaft. Now you're gonna say no, because propeller is for a boat, but it propels it. So if you look into any engineering literature or any schematic, it's called a propeller shaft, but the mainstream word for it is drive shaft. Now here's how I found out how this piece moves, is because there's pins there, and usually when there is, something moves. So when you move it, it comes down like that. These blue lines, I don't know what the blue is for. This might be a hydraulic tank right here, and then the back. The back doesn't turn too much. It just pretty much turns that much. The front seems to turn more. But here's the bottom of it, and you can pretty much see there's not too much detail, but it looks like a lot. And now I'll flip it over in case any of you are confused where I am. And then there's the front of it. Now overall, it really is a great model. Now I know a lot of people don't really go for expensive models, but it really is worth the price, and honestly at the price that it is, it's a bargain. Now like I said, I bought it because I seen the real thing and it appealed to me, but the model has really grown on me. Once I look at it through like the camera lens that I'm filming right now, it really resembles the real crane, and that was the first thing that I noticed about this. Is they really took the look of the real crane, and it's like if the real crane is just brought down in scale. And if I had to rate it out of 10, 10 being the highest, 1 being the lowest, obviously, I would probably give it a 9. Now you asked why a 9 that I'm saying so good about it. It's because they don't give you the option of stringing the hook. They don't give you a ball hook, and I'm not sure if the booms are plastic or metal or not. Now one thing that I just realized I forgot, this piece right here in the boom is so you can raise it up all the way and slide a pin there and it'll stay in that position. Now that's another thing, is it can't really support too much of a load at, say, like right there with all the booms out. It actually can't support itself without all the booms out. So I really wouldn't, unless you drill like another hole, which I'm thinking about doing. But overall, it's a real nice model, and if you're looking to buy a little crane just to mess around with or to use on, say, a sewer job, it's a great crane. It's a 40-ton crane. So, but that's TWH RT540E.